Welcome back to Fast Five number 12. This week we're doing 5 beers only in our Fast Five, maybe a couple ultimatums, and maybe even something we've never done before on the Fast Five. Stay tuned to the end to see.
Ah! Heyo, you found us. Get ready to settle in for another romp around the BMTM universe.
BMTM Beer Me That Movie, for those of you new to the channel. My name's John, and next to me is Harrison. Welcome to this week's Beer Me That Movie, where we find crazy beer on Untappd, checked in by you, and then turn into a crazier movie idea created by mostly Harrison.
That's right. Live. Well, live to us. You are watching this in the future.
I sure hope we still have one of those by the time this comes out.
I wouldn't hold my breath.
Seriously?
I am serious. This comes out like weeks from now. I'd be dead if I held my breath that long, John.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I've never been a good fan of Matt, so that sounds about right.
The show hasn't even started yet. We're already talking about the future and the end of the world. Sounds like we're in the zone tonight.
We'll get to the episode in a second, but first...
That's right. You know what's next. Like, subscribe, follow us, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell anyone you run into about this thing, please. The more the merrier. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Apple, a bunch of other places. If we're not on a podcast platform you use, tell us, because we should be on all of them. And as a reminder, YouTube, we have a movie cast there. It's also on Spotify now, so you can watch us or listen to us over on those things. And yeah, we try to post a lot of stuff on Instagram, little clips and things. So if you haven't found us there yet and want little previews of every show, we try to get something up almost every day. So if you haven't checked that out yet, check it out. If you have, thanks for hanging out. What am I forgetting, John? Anything?
I think if you follow us on Instagram and you have a beer, but maybe you don't use Untappd or we're not friends, one, come on. But two, if you find a beer that you think this would be really fun to riff on, you can send us a message on Instagram or TikTok or wherever. Harrison monitors those like he should be monitoring his blood pressure.
Right, which that'll take care of itself, I believe.
Yeah.
It'll all even out in the end. So one way or another. Eventually it'll be zero. So the average over time.
I love that blind optimism. Yeah.
It's all the only kind I have.
I only need this to work for a little while longer. So with that, let's jump into what we usually do at this point, a recap of last week's feature episode, which you hopefully remember as Big Nose.
Big Nose!
Swamphead Brewery out in Florida.
Oh my gosh. Okay. I have some thoughts. Do you have anything you want me to start?
No, you're welcome to go first, Harrison. My thoughts are usually stolen from you and rephrased.
Well, I'm glad. Okay, a couple thoughts, as always. Super glad we had a lot of Big Nose death scenes. That's what I walked away from going, I think we would give the people what they want. Maybe not some of the fringe people. Maybe wanted some more things for Big Nose to do. Can't have everything in life. Where would you put it? But I think we did pretty well with the Big Nose death scenes. I liked that. I don't know, okay, the Blue Fairy, she didn't come up, right? I think at all. Kind of.
Yeah, maybe we missed an opportunity there, but I feel like that was already our longest feature film idea. So I think we did right to leave her out.
Yeah, it was tough, or it was cool using some Big Nose as, in his inspiration that is Pinocchio. Cool pulling from a universe that kind of already existed. As soon as I told my wife about this idea, she said within a second, Pinocchio's a real boy. He can't still grow his nose, can he? Which I wanted to die. But a 13-second Google search revealed there was a second Pinocchio movie when he's a real boy on adventures, and apparently his nose still grows. So I think we're good. But even if not, it's our movie. If some magic happens to him that his nose can grow when other people lie now.
Yeah, and this wasn't technically Pinocchio. This was Big Nose.
This is Big Nose.
Italians have a lot of cousins.
All of them. Yep. So, okay. Cool. And then the theme. So the theme was, like always, it kind of, I bounced around a little bit, but I feel like on one hand, it was kind of like karma. We are kind of saying like, you can't run from your sins forever or something like that. Like karma always wins. And Pinocchio, or Big Nose, is kind of like a force. And it almost reminded me of that movie It Follows. It's like a huge metaphor for, I guess, STDs and like, careful out there. But so maybe it's something along the lines of like karma always wins, or like your guilt will eventually kill you. Like, because in this movie, sure, Big Nose is a real thing, but also maybe Big Nose is a metaphor for just kind of guilt overcoming these people. And I think that's even more illustrated by all of the police reports label them all as like suicides. There is a world or a way to make this movie where Big Nose like doesn't exist and truly is like guilt manifested, that like everyone just ended up killing themselves. But that's not the movie we made. We made the movie where Big Nose is doing the murdering.
Yeah. Violently sometimes.
Yes, violently so.
But I agree. I like finding a theme for every movie. Yeah. And I think we did a good job of delivering on a boy who kills you because you lied to him.
Yes.
But we almost like it started. I love your idea in the beginning where we opened the film with a kind of a murder scene.
Yes.
And then so we established Big Nose as a murderer already. You start to think like, all right, who is this? Just Chucky with a nose instead of a knife? But as the movie developed, spoiler, you learn that really Big Nose is more a champion, kind of a Robin Hood, if you will, like definitely. A vigilante bringing justice to people that have done bad things and lied about it, unfortunately, to his face, which then killed them.
Yep.
Except for the guy in the car. He died a little differently.
Yes, we were all on the edge of our seat to see how he was actually going to die. It could have been a couple different ways there. But that was awesome. Cool. Yeah, but Big Nose, I had a blast. I laughed about it for a long time afterwards. Still am. And I just hope Walt Disney also laughs about it and doesn't send us any letters.
Well, and Walt stole Pinocchio from an Italian man that was not related to Disney. So, I mean, if all things fair, you know, if you're going to eat my turkey, I'm going to eat your mashed potatoes.
Oh, now I'm hungry, but that's all. Cool. Big Nose.
All right, so that finishes up our recap of Big Nose from last week. If you have anything you think we left out, of course, you're welcome to hit us up on social media. Harrison's probably the best social media manager in that if you send us a message, he actually reads it. And sometimes he'll even respond like himself with his own brain.
That's right. That's all I know how to do.
So I'm going to get ready and load up Untapped and see what you guys have been drinking. What are we going to drink to get through this Fast Five, Harrison?
Fast Five time, yes. So we are drinking from Salty Turtle Beer Company right up the road from us in Surf City, North Carolina. Hazy. Their Hazy India Pale Ale. Quick stats about it, 6.3%. ABV, it's got Citra, Eldorado, and Mosaic in it. Love all those. Oat Sweet Maris Otter and the malt. This is their flagship beer. And from Salty Turtle Crew, this is a juicy hazy style IPA. Might just convert anti-hop heads, bright citrus notes. Hazy is the juiciest of juice bombs. It's great. They're local. They rock. They've been making beer for 7 years now. And if you're not near Wilmington, but you're near Raleigh, they have a taproom out there too. And they're kind of available all over, maybe not the whole state, but certainly in Raleigh and maybe Charlotte, but definitely Wilmington and the coast of North Carolina if you're around and down here. Check them out. But I love this beer.
You nailed it. 6.3%. I can drink more than one. Really like get the grapefruit. For a flagship beer, this thing's pretty high. I like this.
I love this. And they're at a 6.3% something ABV IPA is my favorite. Reminds me of when they all were like, that's Lagunitas.
6 used to be high.
Right. Dogfish Heads was, everyone had a 6%, Smutty Nose, everyone was 6%. That was it. Then all of a sudden 7 became the new 6, and then 11 became the new 7. And
now it's 14.9.
We're just going until everything's bourbon. But hopefully not. Hopefully more breweries take after Salty Turtle and make some nice 6%ers, and we can enjoy a few of them. So thanks for that. But again, as always, not the beer we're going to make into the movie tonight. This is just inspiring us. We now get to go find that movie that you've already consumed, or that beer rather, and turn it into a movie. So let's jump into trusty old drunk Twitter. John's going to spinny the spin. Maybe yes, maybe no. We'll see where we land tonight, where we start.
Okay, so we're going to start off tonight with the beer from Freak Folk Beer. This was checked in by Shane, and the beer's called Play Dead.
Play Dead.
Which is just a movie about a possum mom. Yes! Teaching her young.
That's right.
You know, we're not going to Pixar this one. My first thought was, so it's about a necromancer.
Oh,
which if you're not a D&D nerd or a Diablo nerd or any sort of fantasy video game nerd, a necromancer is like a bad wizard that is usually related to bringing dead things back to life in the form of a skeleton or a zombie.
I love
this necromancer really loved Billy Shakespeare.
Oh,
so
John,
he can't find actors, but he can find dead actors.
Yeah.
And so this is a story about this kind of in-veil necromancer that's bringing things back to life to act in his plays.
Wow. I love this.
Okay. Take it away.
Well, it could be, okay, I love this premise, and it could be, now let's throw this over it and see if this shakes. We got to have a problem and someone to solve the problem. What if it is some, golly, okay, I think I can see this almost this entire movie. So it's like it takes place now. It's like a thespian guy put all his money into his playhouse. He bought it, fixed it up, but it's a failing business. The bank's knocking. He's only got so much time before they shut the doors. And this mysterious janitor, sexy nun, someone who is actually the necromancer disguised as not
Christopher
a necromancer. Walken comes dancing into Fat Boy Slim and gives him some ultimatum or whatever that like he can help fix he can fill this with actors tomorrow night for his famous play. Little does he know they're all going to be dead people, and he could bring back Shakespeare himself. He could bring back other famous actors. And so this guy's, and it's like a comedy is what I'm seeing now, is this guy is like trying to put makeup on people as their limbs are falling off to make them look like they're not zombies, so he can sell out this show and keep his theater open. So he's kind of making a deal with this necromancer to keep his dream alive. And
why don't we just do a play about zombies? I am a thespian. We are not making zombie movies.
Exactly.
We're spending a lot of money on cover up.
Right. Exactly. Right. Concealer is going to put us out of business. We're getting tubs of it and just dunking them in it, and their eyeballs are falling out, and it's not working. So it could be like a funny. You could even shoot as a mockumentary and make it be like a funny Blair Witch. I don't know. That's great. So you can go the funny route. That's where my brain went for whatever reason for Play Dead. I could also
maybe a little bit nefarious too. Like if you're a VIP, you spend a little extra money, you can see your grandma in the play next week.
Oh, sure.
I'm trying to figure out, like, I like your prompt about he's going to lose the theater. It brings back juicy bits for me, so I would like to figure out a different way, like a different hurdle that this necromancer or theater have to overcome. But it's in field. We'll say we can play ball with this one. So for tonight, I'm gonna force Harrison to stick with 5 Fast Five beers plus an ultimatum. Which could be from anywhere from 1 to 3, but we've already got our first one down.
All right.
Let's see what's coming up next.
All right,
coming up for beer number 2 this week, it is a beer from the Rare Barrel, given to us by Joe. This beer is called Map of the Sun, which I think currently is unmapped.
We kind of, I mean, we know it's a big circle in the sky with sunglasses on it and a smile.
It's hot. You go left on Sunglass Road, don't hit the smile, you've gone too far.
Right, yeah, exactly. It's a huge pit on the sun. It's not a smile, it's a canyon.
A map
the size of 20 Earths.
Of this, I mean, my first inkling is like, we're in space, we have to map out the sun to find its belly button so we can fly into the sun to gain unlimited nuclear fission power.
Right. That's kind of what I thought too. First of all, some sci-fi movie where mapping the sun for its energy or for something else. But, you know, the other way this could go, it almost sounds like an Indiana Jones type movie, like Indiana Jones and the Map of the Sun, and it's some map from someone who used to worship the sun. Some old.
I think they all did. Really, right, anybody that carved stone also worshiped the sun.
You had no idea what it was, and every day just this flaming thing came out of the ground. You'd probably be like, "Please don't land on my head, sir. Whatever you want."
It's warm. You're doing good for me.
Yeah. Oh, he's burning my skin. But it could be some cool Indiana Jones type movie, Map of the Sun, and maybe we're doing some Aztec stuff, or it's an adventure. It's a Tomb Raider, Indiana Jones type movie. I don't know what the legend of the Map of the Sun is yet, but that's a thing. That could be a movie. It has that feel to it.
So the map of the map itself would be like, effectively, it'd just be like, where's that place that everyone goes with the rock statue? Stonehenge?
Yes, sure.
So it'd be kind of like a Stonehenge, and it would be, the map would be a way to interpret. You have to rearrange Stonehenge. Sure. That's what no one tells you. You think it's just set up the way it's supposed to be. Right. But if you get to Stonehenge on the right day, you make the right adjustments, then the Stonehenge tomb will open, and inside is
a necromancer.
72 virgins. Yeah. Bones.
72 necromancers.
Yeah, you took too long.
Right,
yeah.
right. We need a necromancer. I'll have a party. Okay. Yeah, something like that. So that's fun. We can hammer out the details if we end up picking it, but that could be a cool adventure.
I like the archaeology. I like the Indiana Jones throw. We just need to figure out what the Map of the Sun was originally.
Exactly.
All right.
Cool.
That's 2 down. We're going into number 3.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so coming up for beer number 3, Killer Fog. This is a beer made by Lock 15 Brewing Co. and given to us by Michael. And I know, Harrison, you've probably already thought this through, so I'm just going to let you take it away.
Killer Fog.
Killer Fog. How hard is that?
Oh, man. I love this. I mean, this could go... There's no puns here. This fog is murdering a town, a small, quaint town with a lighthouse on the water somewhere. Man... But how can we do it in a way that hasn't been done? We've done The Mist, where there's interdimensional monsters in the fog. I don't know if I like the idea of just the fog killing people. That's kind of like The Happening with the wind killing people, and nobody liked that movie.
Yeah, they were pretty upset about that. Rightfully so. No, it's just foggy.
You're right.
Grandma got lost.
Right, exactly. It's just a real thick fog. It's not nefarious at all. People are just... That would be funny. Okay, this is not what I thought it was going to be, but it would be kind of a funny take on and poking fun at maybe a little bit at all those other movies where it is just a fog. It's just a really thick fog, but it's causing all these people in this town to drive off the bridge, which is more serious, but also like bump into someone in the parking lot and get angry and have a fight about it. Like basically all it takes for the people in this town who are angry about a bunch of junk to go over the edge, just a minor inconvenience, and they all start beating the crap out of each other, and people start thinking it's something in the fog, but in reality, no, everyone's just kind of super stressed right now, and
it's like every time USA.
Right. All it takes is you just stub your toe, and then the next thing you know, you're punching out your window and throwing your dog in the furnace. So this is just that on steroids, hitting an entire town. This inconvenient fog sends them all to murder each other. So that's a way.
I like the idea that like there's like fog busters and they just have like box fans taped to their front and back, and they're like
exactly, and that's the band of kids, right? Has to literally blow the fog out of town to save everyone from beating up each other or losing their minds each other.
I like the comedic take, like kind of phone it in with it's just fog. Initially I wanted it to be like
me too, and
like there's a factory outside of town that's producing a new chemical. And instead of polluting the water like they normally do, they just pump it into the air.
Yes.
And people start dying.
Now, do they start dying? Do they start turning into zombies? Does something else happen? It could be, like they turn into animals or mutants.
Maybe they just like it lowers their intelligence slider. So, like some people got COVID and they say like, oh, ever since I've had COVID, I've been dumb.
Brain fog. They get brain fog, intense brain fog.
Like the smartest person in this town is functioning at like a second grade education level.
Yes.
Whereas they used to be mostly functional, like probably 10th grade level,
right?
Like most of us. But now all of a sudden everyone in town is not just kids, but like literally it takes 45 minutes once you get to the checkout lane to negotiate the price and count your currency.
Right. They're all sloth people, essentially. But it could be a fun commentary on like all these, like you said, companies that dump stuff in the air and the river and they never get in trouble. And that could be a scene in this where it's like, well, no one's died, so why are we getting fined? And they're like, oh, you're right. You just ruined this whole town, everyone's life, but I guess no one died, so I'll slap on the wrist.
They were dumb when we got here.
Right. Keep making
sold us the land real cheap.
Killer fog. There's a couple ways this could go that maybe aren't as expected. So I like that. We have some options there.
Not as good as Killer Fog from Outer Space, which is just killer clowns from outer space with more fog.
I'd see that. A bunch of foggy clowns.
Oh, can you believe we've already got 3 done?
That's amazing.
Okay, looking for number 4. All right, coming up next for beer number 4, this Fast 5, we've got a beer from Peabody Heights Brewery, given to us from Melissa. This beer, Harrison, is called Astrodon. Astrodon, like the famous dinosaur from space.
Dinosaur from space, the first dinosaur that came here.
Megalodon was big.
Yes.
Greenlodon was green. I can't think of any more dinosaurs, but Astrodon was definitely the space dinosaur.
Flew down from space. He had cool star-shaped sunglasses on and a funkadelic bass and played. Yeah, that'd be something. Astrodon.
We don't even really need to make the movie. We just need a good dinosaur mechanic.
Right.
To build us a dinosaur that walks around with sunglasses on.
This is an 80s movie where some kid finds it and it teaches him about friendship or whatever and just has to hide Astrodon in his backpack somehow or in a trench coat as they go around town.
You can stay here in my fort. I go here to get away from my stepdad.
Where will I poop? Where will I eat? See you later, Astrodon.
All you need is the stars, buddy.
I'm starving. I've been frozen in a rock for 9 million years. I need food. I'm going to eat your family.
Here, you can have one of my Lunchable crackers.
This is mostly chemicals. I'm dying. Oh, I killed the old.
He eats the kid. The rest of the movie is just him living in his new fort.
Eats a family dog, eats the mom, right? Just living in this house now.
Mail shows up in 3 days, just addressed to Astrodon. You've been approved for a new home equity loan.
Living on Earth is easy. It's got to eat the people that are in your way.
If only I could type.
Right, exactly. Damn these hands. What are they?
Ordering a giant, like the keyboard from the movie Big, but a typing one.
Takes them all day to send an email. Oh, shit.
All right, so if it's not dinosaur from space eating a kid's family,
I could see that happening. All right, so the other thing that's sitting here right in front of us with Astrodon is Astrodon, some guy named Don that just gets here, crashes here, maybe lands here on purpose. What's the purpose and why? I don't know. And then it's more of a, what is that, Astro Boy? What is that movie?
Astro Boy was a cartoon,
right? Oh, right.
I watched growing up, and if your mom would let you make the phone call, I think it was a 900 number, you could call, and if you were selected, Astro Boy would show up and actually play with you.
What?
Yeah, I was never able to vet that because we had a pretty poor family, but
I don't think he showed up anywhere.
I'm pretty sure he didn't. You're probably right. Like,
that was when they could just lie for sweepstakes.
Send me $20 and I'll show up to one of your houses. That wasn't you.
Before people got smart to it. A lot of that.
Astro Boy. So Astrodon. I like Astro Man would be like the Ridley Scott version of this movie.
Yes.
Where it's a man that shows up from space. Astrodon is the Beer Me That Movie version,
right? Where
it's a guy named Don that shows up from outer space.
Oh man, and maybe he could be on the bottom of the totem pole in his world, but maybe like. And this is exposition that we explain at some point in the movie, like someone way more satisfied or way more qualified than Don got picked to this important Earth mission, and Don was just cleaning out his escape pod and accidentally fell in and launched himself to Earth, and now he's here having to fulfill this mission that he's really unqualified for. And meets the same kid that Astrodon the dinosaur would have eaten, and the kid has a better time here with Astrodon,
same Lunchable
humanoid, right?
But like, oh my gosh, these are great. My people are starving. I think that's why Astro Ricky was supposed to show up.
Help us find food and water for our dying race. But this could be a fun Encino Man type movie, goofy adventures, and Astrodon learns about Earth. How does a microwave work? You guys sleep under your sheets?
Love this. Like, it's a good comedy bones.
Yeah.
It's just a man totally out of place. Looks like us.
Exactly.
Doesn't quite live like maybe oxygen just happened. Like maybe they were all nitrogen breathers, and now oxygen took over their Earth, and they're like, all of our stuff isn't growing. We're starving. We're living in these little bubbles. We're learning how. I mean, whatever. We don't have to figure out the science. This is Fast Five. It's just about picking a fun beer.
Astrodon.
I kind of like Astrodon so far. Really, just for riffing through comedic sections. We don't have to write the whole movie next week, but. All right, Astrodon. Good number 4, Astrodon. We're taking a little bit of liberties with your naming here, Peabody Heights. I hope you'll forgive us.
Please do.
That's number 4. We're going to find number 5 and then see where it goes from there. You ready?
Let's do it.
All right, coming into our last Fast 5 beer.
Boy.
This one comes from Vocation Brewery. Thank you, Steve, for checking it in. Crush Hour. And so my first thought is this is like all filmed in one long shot.
Okay.
About a man losing his mind in rush hour.
Oh.
And there's like little, like maybe he gets like kind of flirty with the girl in the Honda that's in the left lane.
Yep, I see it.
Then he's trying to get in and she's like, nah, man, you stay in your lane. So then he's pissed at her.
Yep.
She eventually moves forward. There's another truck that goes by and he's like, he like tries to bump the truck off the road and his little, like he's driving a little Volkswagen Passat or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, it's a story of this man just getting pushed to the brink.
Okay.
All shot from his car, maybe.
Got it.
There's got to be a better way to tell this story.
Well, I went another direction. What if this is a love story set in the backdrop of a demolition derby, like some failed NASCAR hotshot that never was, maybe because he drank too much, couldn't stop crushing those beers, and they were like, get out of here, but he can't stay away from the wheel and from the engine and from the rush of the race or whatever. so he goes and tries to win a demolition derby, or maybe he just is ticked off and is mailing it in at the derby, and people come to see Fasty McFastpants or whatever his cool name is. And every night they're disappointed because he kind of is too drunk to drive and do anything and falls asleep.
I crush everything. Right. Crush this case of beer.
Just falling asleep at the wheel, getting leveled by everyone else's car. And, at some point, finds something to live for, turns it around, wins the Derby. We all see the way the rest of this movie goes, but it can be a fun vehicle for lots of side adventures. Obviously, Danny McBride is in this. These Fasty McFastpants. We'll find a better name. Oh, man. Be like Vlad the Crusher, Fred the Crusher, Crush the Crush Pants.
Bill Crush.
Bill Crush. Attorney at law. Bill Crush.
Very Danny McBride. Like it takes me back to what was a baseball show?
Yes.
Yep.
That one. Fast. What was it called?
Right now.
What was it called? Fast? Was the word fast in it?
I don't think so.
Yeah. It's there, but
it was
not.
Filmed where I live.
We used to go to Shaboom's all the time.
Son of a. Anyway, so that movie, that show. Famous baseball player gets knocked down a peg, buys a jet ski, fixes his life.
This is very similar to that. You're right.
So, but in this case, he's a NASCAR. I don't think he would object to it. He's a NASCAR driver, gets knocked down a peg, a little bit too heavy in the track, and also drunk a lot
all the time.
So then they send him down, and he picks up a local demolition derby. That's where he gets his fix.
Yeah, but I think he's failing at first, even at that, and someone has to smack him into shape a little bit, whether it's a lady friend or a wise Anthony Hopkins type character who is maybe a wizard, teaches him how to, balance on one foot and only drink 12 beers instead of 24, get it together a little.
If we do this, I almost want him to have like a little shade tree mechanic next door that takes in shine to him.
Got it.
But he's gay as hell.
Oh, amazing.
So there's like, oh, cool, you work on cars, but typically where my character is right now, I don't like where your character is right now. So now there's more reckoning to be done.
Yes.
And ultimately, he's just going to have to come to terms with who he is or make some adjustments.
Yeah. He's great at racing. He's just got to cut all the noise out in his life.
There's going to be a scene for sure where he drinks too much, passes out, and then the shade tree mechanic has to give him mouth to mouth.
Oh, yeah, that'll be great.
Yep.
What are you doing? You're attacking me. I'm saving you. Yeah. Everyone's seeing this? Yes, he's saving you. Call the cops. He's saving your life. Well, did I like that? Was I happy? Yeah, you were smiling when you came back. What?
Yeah. Not many people pass out and get a boner.
Before I'm out the mouth or after? You don't want to know. Yeah, I like that. Crush Hour could be fun, lighthearted with a lesson in there. Yeah, like Legend of Bagger Vance, but more drinking and explosions.
Good throwback on Bagger Vance, too. Okay, so that's our fifth beer.
Oh, yeah.
So let's recap them as best as we can. I remember Play Dead.
Oh, yeah, good. I remember he doesn't go back that far. There was Play Dead, and then there was something, and then Astrodon. But hold on, no, there's nothing there. It's just blank. It's just emptiness.
You know what? Sometimes your memory is your best guide. So
you're right.
Coming into the ultimatum, I remember Play Dead, which was a necromancer theater. I remember...
That was fun.
Crush Hour, which we just did.
We just did that one. Astrodon, how can we forget?
Astrodon, Down from Outer Space. And there was two more that I've already lost in there. So since I can't remember two, do you want to grab two ultimatums from Fate?
Let's do it. Let's see what the universe has for us there.
Okay.
Ultimatum land.
Do you have, from the three that we remember, do you have a favorite that we're putting these up against?
We're kind of leaning funny tonight on all of them, which I like. So, oh man. Astrodon is the dinosaur that eats a small family is hilarious, but so is the other Astrodon. Play Dead could be great. I don't right now. I don't have a favorite. No. Do you, John?
I think my favorite so far is Astrodon, the man from outer space named Don.
From the planet Don. All the people are Don.
Play Dead's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I don't recall right now any dead actors that I want to revive. But I think there's fun to be had in that movie.
Yep.
And of course, Crush Hour. Anytime I can bring Danny McBride into a film in my head, I'm excited about it.
Crush Hour.
So we're gonna grab 2 more, and for me, I think I'm gonna set my sights on Astrodon.
Okay,
that's what I'm looking to beat.
All right, Astrodon's the one to beat.
So Ultimatum number 1. All right, coming in for Ultimatum number 1, we've got a beer made by Wiley Roots Brewing. We've seen them on the show. I feel like almost every Fast Five.
Yeah.
This beer comes to us from Greg F. It's called Out of Office Lager. But we're gonna base our film on Out of Office here.
Yep.
For tonight, which it's just a movie about vacation. We all need more of those.
Yes, like a 10-year long one would be about right for me. So my first thought is everyone's nightmare, or maybe just mine, but I'll share it with you all now so it can be yours too. But let's say it's like some guy disgruntled with his job. He's about to go on vacation, but it's kind of like a, I don't know, thought experiment or a cathartic therapy session. He writes this angry email out to his boss about how horrible the boss is, the company, the culture, everything. Throws a bunch of people under the bus, reveals a bunch of dirty secrets, and then like takes a big deep breath. Whoo! All right, that felt good, and just saves it as a draft. You should always delete those. You should never save them. By the way, that's the exercise.
Drafts are no good.
Will kill you.
Clean your browser history. Delete your drafts.
Throw your computer in the river, and the cloud somehow. So writes his angry letter, saves it as a draft, and then puts his out of office reminder, auto reply up in his email. Goes on vacation, and then at some point on his vacation learns there's like a bug, a glitch, something in their email server where if you have like an out of office auto reply, as soon as that comes off, and his is automatically set to go off the last day of his vacation, it sends your most recently saved email to whoever you address it to. So now he's like,
this is a bug in their email system.
Exactly. Something messed up somewhere. This is gonna happen to this dude. So of course he's in a panic mode, and the movie is him like, maybe he's on some island, no planes for 2 days, no boats. He's got to find a way off this island back to his house, home, the office, whatever, and try to delete this email before he can get there. And it's only on his computer for whatever reason. Don't worry about that. Can't get to it on his phone. Can't delete it on his phone. Saved it locally. I don't know.
Yeah, it's on his work computer.
Perfect.
You have to
Can't even get to it.
Yeah, it's like got the security stuff.
Right. He's got to log in. You got to be in the building. So that's the story. And does he get there and end up quitting anyway after he learns more about himself on his journey back? Probably. Maybe not. Maybe there's a sexy nun. I don't know, but that's what I have for out of office. Maybe he'll be out of office forever.
It's a new fear of mine.
Right.
We've all had that job before where you actually went as far as to like write an F off letter to your superior.
Yeah.
Maybe you sent it. Maybe you knew you were done. But in this case, he said, all right, now I feel better getting that out. It's probably not that big of a deal. I'm going on vacation. Let me just put my out of office responder up. And then somehow he learns, maybe his friend from work calls and he's like, oh, we got this crazy bug going off where like your most recent draft is going to get sent the minute your out of office responder goes away. So, and of course he's already got his set. So there's a deadline built in there.
Yep. It's just rushing. It's Die Hard vacation style.
Yeah, and he's remote. He's vacationing off the grid. He's tired of technology, so he gets this when he finally gets off the plane that leaves the dirt runway on his like developing world remote island.
Yep. Oh my God, I love it. He's got to fight his way back. He meets some wild people and misfits and has adventures, and be cool, kind of a panicked road trip movie because he's obviously not enjoying the travel back. fighting sharks, maybe.
And it could be like he leaves the island, like someone says, like, yeah, I can canoe you there to land to mainland, for X amount of money or something. He's like, I got nothing on me, but you can have my watch. Great, awesome. Gets to mainland, which is a place like Thailand or someplace, and he's like, I got to get to an airport, and they're like, man, you just need to chill out, it'll be okay. And he's like, no, you don't understand. So the whole movie is him trying to go back to the meat parade that he was used to running, the rat race of his life that he was so angry at, and here he is in paradise, and he's like, I got to get back so I can save this. And maybe the movie ends with him getting back and saving his job, or maybe realizing, like, you know what, I'm okay here.
It ends with him opening up a ferry service between that island and the mainland, and he makes millions of dollars. Puts the canoe guy out of business. No more
gets his watch back. Yeah.
That is how it ends.
That's perfect.
That's the whole movie.
Yeah.
Live in paradise.
You see his boss like 10 years later needs a ride to the island.
Trying to find himself. You're too late, man. You lost yourself long ago.
I kind of dig that.
That's fun.
So what's that? That's ultimatum number 1?
It's ultimatum number 1.
All right, so I guess...
What happened? Oh.
Is that the vault?
Oh, my gosh, John! It's the vault.
We have a vault light?
That's what that guy was installing. We do. We have a vault light. The vault is opening.
Oh, okay. So the vault's open.
So what does this mean?
According to the bylaws, when the vault is open, you can pick one of the previous Fast Fives that did not get converted into a feature film to submit for this week's feature film.
Right. I bet this has a fun name too when we get to do this.
The Vault-i-matum.
It's Vault-i-matum time.
Vault-i-matum trumps ultimatum.
Yeah.
Every married man knows this.
All right, so the vault's open. Oh my gosh. So there's a lot of great things in there. Hopefully some of you were screaming ideas at your phone, car, computer right now. We can't hear you. So
listening on your kid's iWatch. Turn up the volume, Jimmy. I need to hear this.
It's finally happened. We're back in the vault.
So probably everyone's vault is Powder Jones.
I know.
But that's like... That's in the vault.
Right. That's a different system, the different colored light that goes
It's just getting built right now. It got built a long time ago.
Yeah, we don't know what it looks like yet or how it works.
So Powder Jones, the one I want to make.
Yep.
And since the vault's open, I'm going to reach in.
Let's do it.
And I'm going to submit a movie that really you did, I think, beautifully in the Fast Five, Harrison, called Rally Point.
Ooh.
Which was about like a Western bank robbery gone wrong. They all had to meet up at the rally point, and then there was only like 1 or 2 people that showed up.
That's it.
So they had to retrace, basically solve their own crime, I think was how you phrased it.
Right. Become detectives of their own crime and figure out who double-crossed them, or if that even happened in the first place. Now it sounds like we get to find out.
Are you on board with Rally Point?
I think we do it. The vault's open. The Vault-i-matum has been vaulted-matumed, I guess, whatever. So yeah, I don't want to stand in the way of the vault. Let's do this. Beer me that movie first. We're in the vault and we're grabbing Rally Point.
So next week's feature then is going to be from Service Brewing Company. Rally Point, a Pilsner. I'm trying to remember who gave us that beer when we would have originally scrolled through it, but looking through my friends, we can see Tom has checked it in, Mike has checked it in back in June, James checked it in back in May. We can even go back to early May and see that Jim checked it in as well. So we've had a lot of people that we know drink this beer.
Yes.
Harrison had a great idea.
And we're going to see how great it was now. We're going to go make it.
That's true. I guess the only downside is you don't even know much about this movie unless you watch the last Fast Five that we brought it up in.
Right.
So come back next week, hit that subscribe button so you know when we release Rally Point, which is going to be the feature film that comes out in 7 days, or next Wednesday, or next on our list.
Yeah.
However time works for you.
Sick. All right. Well, until then, we don't have to get busy, but to you all at home, nothing could pop. Peace.
Punch.
Give me your lunch.
Sucker.